Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die. They stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Greetings. Welcome to Dorsey's Resource. We're now going live. The topic of this video is going to be major temporal markers appear to be unfolding from old webbot report I plan on discussing. But first, as usual, before we get started, this video is for entertainment, educational, informational purposes only. Please understand everyone's individual circumstance or situation may be different. It's up to everyone. I encourage to please do his or her homework and research regarding the topic being discussed. The information is not to be construed as legal advice. In the event you feel you need to seek a competent professional, it is encouraged you do so at one's own leisure. Dorsey's Resource channel is not liable or responsible for anyone's misuse of the information. With that being said, all rights are reserved. Now, let's get into this. I wanted to discuss Clif. I've talked about him a little bit in the past with a few videos I've done. There appears to be major temporal markers unfolding. I didn't want to necessarily say that these are webbot hits. Some appear to be like the potential incident, the bridge that collapsed in Maryland that had the accident or major accident that took place. Clif has predicted, and some have come to pass, dealing with the supply chain being affected. By the way, in case you're unfamiliar with Clif, he's known as the woo guy, very intelligent. He's done a lot of interviews on YouTube. You can look him up for those out there, my subscribers, or those who may be unaware of who he is. I first found out about him when I used to watch. There was a channel I was subscribed to of a guy named JSnip4. By the way, for those that are familiar with JSnip, some call him Snippy. He's on Rumble, by the way. You're welcome to subscribe to him. I don't know JSnip personally, so this is not any clout chasing, in case any of those may be wondering. Just someone I follow a long time. I felt the information they present, it's some relevance to it, and it's good information. And this is how I found out about Clif some years ago. To give a little background, like I said, you can do your own research. He used to be, he's a computer programmer. He worked for big name companies like Microsoft before. He developed his own particular computer or some type of artificial intelligence device that could predict future outcomes. Like I say, he's a very intelligent guy. He reminds me sort of like the art type personality of Doc from Back to the Future, by the way. Kind of reminds me like, and he talks a lot about, well, in the past, he talked about Bitcoin. He talked about different events that were going to take place with the cabal, or what we refer to as the Illuminati, the banksters, those behind the criminal banking system, etc., as well as some other esoteric information and things. So this webbot report that he developed, there was actually reports that he would put out periodically. I don't know if he still does these reports. They also were known as, excuse me, they were also known as the Alta reports, I believe. Don't quote me exactly, but something to that effect. I had some of them when they ended up putting it out there for free, but I heard he used to charge. This was way back going towards 2016, 2017, or maybe prior exactly. But his machine device that he used had been out for quite a long time. He mentioned that's how he knew what was going to happen behind Bitcoin some years ago, which I wish I had known about. And some other things that his webbot report has been able to predict, including that he didn't give his WebBot report didn't give a specific year, but it predicted already that Bitcoin would hit $100,000, which appears to be last time from listening to his podcast. He has another platform that he's on, and one of the videos I was listening to from towards the end of last year, he said this year coming up, which we're now in 2024. He said this appears to be the year that Bitcoin would hit 100K, which had been previously forecasted, but it hasn't done it yet. It has broken records as we're in the bull market, even though there was a major pullback recently, but you're going to have those in bull markets. You're going to have pullbacks like that. I'm not an expert when it comes to reading the chart analysis, dealing with financial charts, flow charts, dealing with Bitcoin stocks, etc. So just keep that in mind. But just to give you guys a background, that's why I went over the information so you guys would know. There appears to be, the reason I titled this video, major temporal markers unfolding. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be before you all, but his WebBot data reports talked about events in the future before they would happen. And it appears as though every now and then, JSNIP4, when I would follow his channel, he would periodically give updates, like if there was a WebBot hit or like a major temporal marker, that's like indication that we could be seeing something that was in a report getting ready to actually take place or manifest. By the way, just so you all have an idea, some of the things that he predicted, like with the Cocoa 19, the supply chain shortage, that thing that would take place, there was things of that sort, weather events, uncommon things that would seem on a minute level. And I believe this WebBot report was like kind of on a worldwide scale. He had something called Europop, which means dealing with the European population. Then over here, the pop was short for population, like for America. And his report would describe, sometimes it wouldn't go into the exact details, but it was amazing, the tools that were used. Hold on real quick, guys. I'll be back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Well, just to give you guys another background, so you guys sort of have an idea, as I've just tried my level best to describe with his report, that would have the different data sets that would describe future events before they actually happen. And we had saw throughout the years, for those that follow his WebBot reports, we saw different events that unfolded. Sometimes the descriptions of these events were vague, where before it would come time for the potential event to take place, he said some instances he could figure it out for certain events, but some events, the language would be vague. He wouldn't be able to figure it out, or we wouldn't know yet until sometimes we were close or it happened. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, and you guys know, if you're familiar with my channel and the work that I put out thus far, and if you have your eyeglasses on and you've been paying close attention, for those out there who know I can be meticulous at times, but you have your eyeglasses on and you really, or let's just say magnifying glasses, and you really been paying attention. Because I did some previous videos, or a couple videos I mentioned, and one in particular, no need to say, but some years ago, Clif High's WebBot report, I'll give you an idea. Sometimes he would come on JSNIP4's channel as a guest, by the way. Like I said, he's been interviewed by other YouTubers. I found out who Clif High was from JSNIP4's channel. And I liked his interviews. And even when different YouTubers reached out to him and would have him on their podcast, or, would do an interview and would ask him different questions. And it was really hot at one time. They would ask him, like a lot of the people that were in the cryptocurrencies, because they want to know, when is Bitcoin going to hit 100K, or kind of like an idea, or silver. It also predicted that silver would hit $600 per ounce, by the way, which is something else I kind of forgot to bring up, because as of lately, the price of silver and gold has been going up. And gold, by the way, I hear is going to all new all-time highs. It's been like breaking records. It already broke a record a while ago. Like, I'm not an expert when it comes to the commodities market, but that's something else that was predicted in Clif High's Webbot report. Specifically, a lot of people stands out that are familiar with the report are familiar with his report stating that silver, there's going to come a point in time will reach $600 per ounce, and it appears as though the time, not sure exactly that Bitcoin, that would be within the same year that Bitcoin would hit 100K. I could be off. It could be maybe a year later. But he did say, from what I remember from the reports, that it would be different this particular time, that precious metals will start to go up first. And his report predicted that there would be a major drop with Bitcoin before it hit 100K. And then he said after that, it's going to be off to the races. It's going to go up even higher, even 200K and I guess beyond. From what I remember, he basically said it's going to have a big drop that his data sets are going to describe. There's going to be an analysis where people from his Webbot reports, the way he put this, the data sets together and this computer algorithm system that he developed, that it would pick up, he would put in information from what's going on in the public, and it could generate future events. For like, he would gather different data from what I remember from social media, different things, and he would compile it into this form of computer system he developed, the artificial intelligence, and it would basically would be able to kick out or predict future outcomes, future events, which some have already come to pass. And when they've come to pass, that's what they call a Webbot hit, in case you don't know. But as it's unfolding and we're getting close, if the event has not happened, but we're seeing potential signs of something that we've been able to figure out from an event that we or he put together, basically, or others that have been able to interpret, say, hey, this event, like he said, there was going to be a major lawsuit that was coming towards the mainstream media. And I kind of saw, not quite yet, maybe some temporal markers, possibilities unfolding, because currently the Supreme Court, I think it's still being heard. Don't quote me exactly. They're supposed to be ruling on 2 different cases related to freedom of speech. And there's been a big thing, many of you already know, where there's been a lot of people that have been censored, not just here on YouTube, but Facebook and social media. Even Elon Musk, when he took over Twitter, he released something called the Twitter Files that showed that the Biden administration had illegally polluted with big tech giants. And there was a federal judge, I found out a while ago, that saw this was they were guilty and actually penalized the Biden administration, even though the mainstream media, of course, when there's things that are not in their favor, they don't report on stuff like this. But this did happen. I don't remember. Some of you all may know, because I mean, it's so much information the independent media puts out. It's even hard for myself to keep up with. There's a lot of information, just like you have in the mainstream media, but they don't always, the mainstream corporate media, establishment media, doesn't always go in depth. They don't talk about the meat and potatoes or things from independent journalists or your average everyday folks, boots on the ground sometimes, that may know more details, are able to kind of be in the know of what's going on. So, but it is for what it is. So back to, basically, I titled this video, there appears to be somewhere along the lines of major temporal markers unfolding from Clif High's old Webbot report. And one of the reasons which leads me, and I brought up recently, there's someone in the entertainment industry that you all know, don't need to say the name because it's blown up all over social media, worse than before. But remember, I told you guys a while ago, I had been following, there was a particular YouTubers, influencers who are very large. Channels are much, much bigger than mine. Even despite the censorship that I've gone through, these channels are huge. A lot of gossip channels, by the way, channels that talk about entertainment stuff. A lot of people are into stuff like that. So those type of channels are going to do really well, especially people that know how to market themselves, by the way. But I'm kind of into this stuff too on the side. I like to know what's going on. But I started to notice when there was this lawsuit that started last year, and then this particular individual was all in the mainstream media. Clif High's old webbot report predicted. Now the language was vague, like I told you guys earlier. He wouldn't know sometimes from the language, like it wouldn't bring up the particular person. And I thought in the past that these potential people could have been, in one instance, what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. I thought he could have been one of them, Harvey Weinstein, but he said it was somebody who was gonna. It was some information that was gonna come out. It's gonna be really huge, and he said this is before major problems were gonna start with the economy, supply chain shortage, some other major events, financial crisis, some other things that were supposed to take place. He said it was going to start with this someone in the entertainment industry, and that was going to lead to a lot of stuff being exposed with Hollywood. And I heard this recently from two different bloggers when I've been looking at different channels related to this particular individual whose name I don't even need to say. Many of you all, if you've been paying attention, you know who I'm talking about without saying the name. If you want to, you can put the name in the chat. So I'm not looking at the chat right now. I will, before I shut the video down, hopefully I will get to you guys. I'll read the comments and stuff like that if you guys are still here. By the way, I'll do that later, but I don't even need to say, but you have your eyeglasses on, you can pretty much figure out who I'm talking about. And I said, this seems to be a major temporal marker that's unfolding, because Clif High said it was going to be someone in the entertainment industry, and he said it was going to lead to a lot of stuff being exposed. And I was listening to this person, and they kind of said something similar along the lines when they were reporting on a particular video. I love this blogger. I mean, to me, she does an excellent job. Her channel is called Tisa Tales. I haven't met her yet, so I just have to say this on a side note. This is no clout chasing, because some people think, when I shout out names of channels or things, that I'm trying to gain some type of notoriety. I'm just referencing the research that I do, or, this is someone that, in my downtime, I check out, and I like to see the latest stuff they put out. I even saw a subscriber of mine over there that actually had looked out in the past or donated to me. Appreciate you. I even saw him over there. So word is getting out. So her channel is really big. It's growing exponentially. I appreciate the work that she does. I love the work that she does. And there's other videos, two other content creators I've shouted out in the past, but I'll just say her channel, by the way, I'm a big fan of Tisa Tales, by the way. And it's one particular video I love when she covers this particular topic, by the way, because I think she does an excellent job with her reporting. Now, this particular person in the entertainment industry, without saying the name, they do give a disclaimer. This particular person, I haven't said the name, I have in the past, they do maintain their innocence. This has not yet been proven in a court of law, but there are legal documents and lawsuits that have been filed against this individual. Very damning information. And if you know something that happened not too long ago to this particular individual where their homes were raided, by the way. And when stuff happens at that level, it's very serious. When you got the federal government down your throat, which has like a 99% success rate with winning cases, it means whoever these allegations were from or against it, I'm hearing about different people that are cooperating with the feds. This corroborates you got some pretty, it's not looking good. I'll just put it that way. But this particular person, these are still allegations. They still maintain, that they didn't do it, that they're innocent, this, that, and other. But if I give my own separate opinion, like I gave about the R. Kelly situation, when I actually did do a video, it may not have been titled, this was a while ago, about was found guilty. And I said, I believed it. I even debated some friends, close friend of mine, were taken up. I said, no, it's stuff I've been hearing about for years. And similarly, with this other particular interview, are already being interviewed, and they're many of them are scared because they could be potentially implicated in these particular, and some have, according to these particular lawsuits or whistleblowers behind the scenes,